Hi, it's KuyaMike and welcome to another video where I read your emails and give my opinion on the matter. As always, these emails are kept anonymous, so please do feel free to send any questions, confessions, or anything you want to get off of your chest to the email in the description below. Before we begin, I'd like to invite you to subscribe if you haven't already, and like and share. Oh, and there's also another thing. It's a very big deal if you click on the bell icon near the subscription so that you get notified whenever new uploads happen, because apparently that's not enough to just subscribe. You have to click the bell so that you know when there's a new video. So yes, again, please do subscribe, continue liking, sharing so we can help this channel grow. So without further ado, let's begin. The title of this email is What is True Love? Hello Kuya Mike. I've been asking myself the same question for years and I've never been able to find an answer. I'm 27 and I need your help. After a few dates and relationships that have ended badly, I wonder, how does someone know when they found true love? At times I thought I was in love, but sooner or later I realized they were all mistakes. One time I was dating this guy and I kinda liked him, but he told me he didn't want anything serious. I tried to play it cool, but I ended up obsessing over him. I ended up hating him and liking him at the same time, so I decided I shouldn't see him anymore. Another time, I ended up liking someone I didn't initially consider, but we worked together and it was funny, clever and kind. So after months of being used to each other, we started dating and I thought that was love. Everything was going great until I met another guy at a friend's party, and it was love at first sight. I couldn't stop thinking about him, so I took the risk and left the guy I worked with for him. I thought that was it, but the more I got to know this new guy, the less I liked him. Finally, I dated a guy for 2 years and I was so happy at the beginning, but then he started to really annoy me. I used to find him funny and now I don't. He's not as clever and good looking as I first thought. I don't know when I changed my mind, but I did. So now I can say I know the signs for when it's wrong, but I want to know how to get it right. I thought loving someone meant being in love with them all the time, but maybe I'm idealizing relationships. Maybe I had true love with one of those guys, but I didn't know because I was being too picky. So I want to ask you, what is true love? How do you know if it's infatuation, or if you're just settling with what you're used to, or if it's real love? Thank you, Kuya Mike. I know you'll be able to help me. What is true love? Man, this has been debated over for thousands of years. I believe the great philosophers like Socrates and Plato, they all have their ideas of what love is. And just to give you a quick history lesson of what one of the philosophers said was apparently love is like this. You start off as this being with 4 arms, 4 legs, 2 heads, and then what happens is you get split up, and your true soulmate is the half that you got split up from the beginning, and that's why apparently we've got 2 legs, 2 arms and a head, and that is what true love is according to them. That's what I remember back when I did philosophy. It was a minor subject back when I was in college, but it's 2020 and everyone's got their own idea of what love is. So the definition of love by Merriam-Webster: a feeling of strong or constant affection for another, attraction that includes sexual desire, the strong affection felt by people who have a romantic relationship, and a person you love in a romantic way. Apparently that's how you define love, that feeling of strong affection. And then another question that relates to that is, how do you know you're in love? So if love is having affection towards someone, apparently knowing you're in love is when you have feelings of empathy towards a person that you care for. So when they're in pain, you feel their pain and you have these strong feelings of empathy where you're willing to sacrifice everything for that person. And that's apparently how you know you're in love, when you're willing to put that other person's happiness above your own. That is the dictionary definition of what is love. But now you're asking for Kuya Mike's opinion on what is love.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Don't hurt me no more.
Okay, so from my experience, this is what love is. So I completely agree with the idea of feeling strong empathy towards someone, because when their happiness becomes your happiness, and yes, I agree that is love, because you have this strong attachment. Everyone has their own opinion of what love is, especially for younger people that are very inexperienced. Their ideas of love come from what they see in the movies, and that can also be a problem, and also might be a problem with the way you've been tackling relationships so far. You said you were dating someone and you worked together and you got along great, and to be honest, out of all the people that you listed, you had someone that was trying to play it cool, didn't want anything serious. All right, sounds like this guy just wanted the friends with benefits situation, you know? He just wanted the convenience of that physical booty call. Then you have the other one who you didn't initially consider, but then you grew to like this person because you worked together, you had things in common, I guess, and then you enjoyed each other's company. I'm rooting for that guy, by the way. And then you ruined that because you said you fell in love with someone at first sight. And I think that there is the key word, first sight, because you saying that you now have feelings of attraction towards this person without any basis apart from their physical appearance goes to show that you were just infatuated by them. And I think that should answer your question of how do you know if it's infatuation? Because I'm not going to lie, physical appearance is what's going to get your foot through the door. It's what helps people notice others that they might be physically attracted to. It's what we get fed on TV, in cinema, movies, posters. We're fed this idea of what is physically attractive, and because of that, that's what we end up looking for. But that'll only take you so far, because someone can look incredibly attractive but then be an absolute piece of shit. That's how you know when it's infatuation. I think the best way to understand that, think like this. If you're attracted to someone, but it only goes as far as the physical appearance, and after, like, say you get as far as getting very intimate with each other, you guys have been pounding away for hours. Oh, kimochi. Oh, and then once that's all done and you're just both lying there, and you start thinking, man, I want to get out of here. I don't want to get out. If it comes to the situation where you just want to get off and haul ass and just be like, all right, I'm done. Get off me. Get your sweaty body off of me. Yeah, and I'd say that's infatuation. But then that's just what I'm saying. Remember, there's other opinions, and you've kind of basically explained my point here, where you took the risk, you left the guy that you were already comfortable with and that you enjoyed the company and you didn't consider at first, but then you grew to love him, I should hope. You dumped the guy because you saw someone that was way more pretty than that guy. And then after a while you noticed, you know what, he's actually pretty annoying, he's not as funny as I thought, he's not as good looking as I thought. Yeah, so that's it. Infatuation has worn off, because that's what it is, it's infatuation. If it's love, it's something else. Now, if I were to give you the movie version of what love is, true love is finding the person that was destined to be with you from the beginning. And then living happy ever after, and that's it, nothing else. Now, I will give you my idea of what love is. So, throughout your lifetime, you're going to meet several people, and I'm saying several people because I don't believe there's just one person that you're destined to fall in love with and be in love with forever. You'll meet several people where you will feel different forms of love, because I'm a strong believer of loving people in different ways. I'm not saying that this is your path to go and find multiple lovers, but what I mean is, you've got puppy love, for example, where you have your first love and you think, this is it, I'm going to marry this person and have kids. But then usually puppy love happens when you're teenagers, when you're kids, where you barely have any life experience. So you're very naive in a sense where you imagine that it's just you and this person for the rest of your lives. And that is when you're at a stage of your life where your social circle is very small. And I've seen this in a lot of couples back when I went to college in the Philippines, where a lot of people went to college and they had high school sweethearts that had been together with since they were like 13 or 14. First year of college or second year, they break up, end up with someone else. And the reason that happens is because when they're in high school or secondary school, whichever your country you're from, or however you call it, you are stuck with these people that you see every day, and that is your world. And that's how they've been together for that long, because they had such a small world. And then the moment they spread out and go to college, they find other people. It's like, oh, hang on a second, there's someone else. I think I like this person. And then that's why a lot of the time high school relationships don't really work out. And that is what you call puppy love. Usually the first time you experience feelings of empathy towards someone. And that's it. That's one way of loving someone. So now that your world is bigger, and when you find someone else, you'll begin to find different things that attract you to someone. So it's not always just physical appearance. Like I said, that's just getting a foot through the door. You'll find things that you have in common together, and if you don't have things in common together, you can have shared experiences together that you can then bond over. Here's a little trick I used to do back when I was dating. Very simple stuff. Go watch a movie, have dinner afterwards. And the cool thing about that is, now that you have a shared experience together, you can then talk about that and you build memories together. Back to my point of different forms of love. When you fall in love with someone, that love that you had together, that is your love. And then when you meet someone else and you fall in love together, you can't love that new person the same way you love the previous person, because they're completely different people, and that person as well will love you differently. I hope that this is all making sense, but my point is, just like how there are no two trees that are the same, it's the same when it comes to love. And that's why a lot of people give themselves a hard time thinking that they're never going to find love, because they have this warped idea of what it is because of what they see on TV. They think it's all about fairy tales, happy endings and so on. But at the end of the day, love, I would say, is a partnership. By partnership, I mean it's something that needs to be felt by both parties, can't be one-sided, and it's something that you work towards together. As long as you both put the effort in, like you said, where you were working with someone, so that sounds like an ideal scenario. I think that is the ideal situation to then create and nurture these feelings of affection together, which you could say is love. Now, I'm actually hoping a lot of people comment and roast me about this because this is such an abstract topic. I would love to hear everyone's opinions about that, but that's just how I see it. Going back to infatuation, like I said, with love, where it's a partnership where it's two people, infatuation, I would say, is one-sided. There can be instances where both parties are infatuated with each other, but then let's just go with a situation where one person is infatuated with someone else. The problem with that is infatuation can give you the wrong impression of someone. It will essentially put that person you're infatuated with up on a pedestal. Say you manage to score that person. Because you've been hyping this person up so much in your head and thinking this person is going to be great once I finally enter a relationship with this person, and because you've built up such an image of this ideal person that you're infatuated with, you are then setting yourself up for disappointment because you've now got all these expectations that are completely unreasonable because of this infatuation that you have. It's like, say we see supermodels all over social media and we think, wow, I'd like a girl like that. And say you do get a girl like that, but then the whole chase of trying to get them, you're thinking, wow, this person looks really nice, has a great smile and so on. And that's great and all, but then you're now creating these expectations that are not necessarily true to who that person is, which is not going to result in anything good. And just to end this, how does someone know that they found true love? Honestly, that's entirely up to you. You set your idea of what you think true love is. For me, true love is all about not idealizing the idea of love. It's about being realistic, finding someone that you can have a future with, you can grow together with, create something together with. And for me, that's my way of knowing I found true love, where it's all about just keeping it real, really. Just don't give yourself the wrong idea that love is about finding someone like in the movies where you press the same elevator button and you're like, ooh, coronavirus, don't touch me. So yeah, I'm sorry if I went off on a tangent. I hope I did answer your question. So that's how I feel about it. I want to know what everyone else's opinions on the matter is. Do you have any advice? What are your views on love? Do you think I'm completely full of shit, or do you agree with some of the points I've made? Love to hear what you have to say in the comments. And as always, I do appreciate everyone's support and would love to continue making videos like this, so keep them coming, please. So please do share and subscribe. And also, apparently, you got to do it. Please click on the bell icon so you're notified for future uploads. And don't forget to send in your emails. And I hope to hear from you soon. Until the next video.